right, we're gonna call the December 18th meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Murray. Here. Mr. Miller. Here. Mr. Smith. Here. Mr. Macula. Here. Keeper.
Here, at this time, do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, at this time, does anyone in the board desire to add, delete, or separate any items of the consent agenda as proposed? No? I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented for the regular board meeting on December 18th, 2024.
So moved. Support.
Roll call?
Mr. Murray. Yes. Mr. Miller. Yes. Mr. Smith. Yes. Mr. Macula. Yes. Mrs. Keeper.
Yes, motion carries. This time I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held on November 20th, 2023.
So moved. Support.
Roll call?
Mr. Murray. Yes. Mr. Miller. Yes. Mr. Smith. Yes. Mr. Macula. Yes. Mrs. Keeper.
Yes, motion carries. At this time, is there any board members with correspondence? Mr. Carroll? Mr. Small? All right, Mr. Small, will you continue recognizing our guests and visitors?
You were guest with us today. Thank you for being here. You can please just introduce yourself.
Rusty Connor.
Dr. Dolores Weinford, Christy Schmidlin,
Brady Rupert. Lucas Bertholder.
Jenny Conran.
David Smallman.
Thank you, everyone. Being that no one has registered to address the board, we'll move on with Mr. Carroll's financial reports.
Thank you. We have our typical financial reports, our cash reconciliation, financial summary, cash summary, and our disbursement summary for this month. Our graphs, last two graphs that we have here, comparing the month of November to our revenue expenses and comparing it to our forecasts. Everything looks in line. Right at the end of November, we are 42% of the way through the fiscal year. Our cash balance, as you can see, trending nicely as compared to last year as well. Payroll and benefits are broken down on last page there for you. And again, 41% of the way through our payroll budget and 41% of the way through our benefits budget. So everything is looking nice. On the agenda, there's a couple budget modifications and increases. These are just due to more or less money coming in than anticipated, mainly for our grants that we had as reallocations have been finalized, and then some student activity accounts. And then the very last item there, to approve an increase for the petty cash, athletic petty cash fund. We are seeing an increase in official costs and costs of the district. So to make it a little easier on our athletic director, we're going to bump that account up a little bit. So that way we don't have to make transfers weekly as we have to do. So this will just buy us a little bit of time during the week. So that's on there to be approved.
Any questions for Mr. Carroll? All right, we'll jump right into the financial part of the consent agenda. We need a motion to approve the November 2023 financial report that we just reviewed with Mr. Carroll. Also to accept the following donations: $100 anonymous donation to the Student Assistance Fund, as well as $1,139 donation to the music department from Wayne and Madeline Doble. We also need to approve a revised auxiliary service agreement with the Educational Service Center of Lake Erie West for the 2023-2024 school year in the amount of $81,075.30 for auxiliary service personnel for the benefit of Holy Trinity Schools and demand resources and modify appropriations accordingly. We also need to approve the following appropriations modifications and amend the resources accordingly, and increase the class of 2026 of $800, increase the staff of $100, increase the SECLA $100, increase scholarship to $1,500, increase the activity fund $7,000, increase to Title I $11,675.40, increase the Title II $1,814.83, increase the Title IV $71.63, increase the IDEAB $10,741.71, as well as an increase to the 001 of $37,873, and to approve the increase of the athletic petty cash from $600 to $1,000. This time, I just need a motion to approve financial reports and other financial items.
Support.
Roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vacula?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. We'll move on to the personnel. We need to offer the following non-teaching one-year limited contract effective December 18th, 2023 for the 23-24 school year for Taylor Miller, bus driver, 4-hour route. We also need to approve the following high school, middle school paid and volunteer vet workers for the 23-24 school year for Robert Pennington. This time, we just need a motion to approve the above listed personnel positions.
Move. Support.
Any questions? All right, roll call.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vacula?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. Move on to other business. We need a motion for the Evergreen Local Board of Education to adopt the 2024-2025 district school calendar and tentatively approve the 25-26 district school calendar as recommended by school administration and the calendar committee after receiving public input to include the following significant dates. You can see those that follow.
Support.
Questions or discussion?
We had no input from the public, correct?
None. The current leadership panel, that is the officers of our sport organizations, they all like the calendar, but no other feedback other than my meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Roll call.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vacula?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. At this time, we need a motion for the Evergreen Local Board of Education to join in membership with Ohio School Board Association and authorize the treasurer to pay the $5,679 membership for 2024. 2023, it was noted that it was $5,504.
So move. Support.
Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vacula?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. This time, we need a motion to approve an agreement with RFF Behavioral Health to provide social and emotional support services to Evergreen students. The agreement specifies that students' participation in the receipt of services is voluntary and based upon the informed consent of his or her legal guardian. Services are provided without any financial cost imposed upon Evergreen local schools.
So moved. Support.
Question, discussion?
This is a replacement, correct?
Yeah, we used to have a renewed mind and they had been unable to staff and they were bought out, still couldn't staff us, so. Met with, this organization, they're serving neighboring districts, and so. This is a hole in our services that we needed to fill.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vacula?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yeah, motion carries. This time we need a motion to approve the following overnight trip for Evergreen Ag students, Jessica Campbell and Taylor Johnson, and teacher Alexis Powell to travel to the National FFA Grow Next Generation Conference in Dallas, Texas for educational workshops and to explore agricultural communication careers. Students and teachers will stay at the Embassy Suite in Grapevine, Texas. Attendees will depart on March 5th, 2024 and return on March 8th, 2024. The trip costs approximately $2,000 per student and will be paid by the school FFA account, FFA alumni, students, parents, and community sponsors.
Support.
Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vacula?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carries. This time we need a motion to approve an overnight trip for the Evergreen wrestling team to participate in the Division III state duel at Sandusky St. Mary's High School. The team will compete against other teams from throughout the state. The team will depart on January 26th, 2024, return on January 27th, 2024. And will stay at True by Hilton in Sandusky, Ohio. Coaches Dalton Nicely and Kyle Keller will be the trip supervisors.
Move. Support.
Questions or discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Vacula?
Yes.
Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carried. We need to approve the following overnight trip for the Evergreen wrestling team to participate in the OHSAA State Wrestling Tournament at the Coshocton Center in Columbus, Ohio, March 8th through the 11th. Should any wrestlers qualify for that state tournament, Coach Dalton Nicely will be the trip supervisor.
Support.
Questions or discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mrs. Beaver?
Yes, motion carries. We need to approve an overnight trip for Evergreen FFA students to attend the Ohio FFA State Convention at the Ohio State Fairgrounds in Columbus, Ohio. Students will learn about agricultural topics, leadership, communications, and public speaking. Students will depart on May 1st, 2024, and return on May 3rd, 2024. A school bus will transport students to the convention, and students will stay at the Holiday Inn in Columbus, Ohio. Teacher Alexis Howell will be the trip supervisor along with parent chaperones. The trip costs approximately $200 per student, and we pay by the students, the FFA account, and FFA alumni.
Support.
Questions or discussion? Roll call?
Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mrs. Beaver?
Yes, motion carried. At this time, we need to set the 2024 annual organizational meeting of the Evergreen Local Board of Education on, we're gonna fill in a date here. We talked before you got here, we have to have this meeting completed before the 15th of January. And actually, the 15th of January would be our normal 3 weeks. However, that's also Martin Luther King Day, so we were gonna jump it up to the 8th. It'd be a Monday, it's just the one previous to, that work for you?
Sure.
Okay. The 8th of 2024 at 5:45 to be held in the Evergreen High School Lauren Pennington Learning Center with a regular board meeting to immediately follow.
Support.
All right. Any problems, questions, discussions? Everybody works? Okay. Roll call?
Mr. Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mrs. Beaver?
Yes, motion carried. All right, at this time, we need to elect someone on the board as the president pro tempore to preside in the beginning of the January 2024 organizational meeting until the newly elected president assumes the chair.
Jason.
Jason? Jason? Right. Jason Miller as the elected president pro tempore to preside at the beginning of the January 2024 organizational meeting until the newly elected president assumes the chair.
So moved.
All right. Roll call.
Murray?
Yes.
Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mrs. Beaver?
Yeah. All right, Mr. Small, would you like to continue with discussion and information?
Yeah, I had on here Evergreen facilities. As we enter the new year, we will be taking a hard look at goal 5, facilities of the strategic plan. We will examine the needs of the districts and academic programs for the future and what facilities are needed for the district to best serve our students. We plan to survey all stakeholders and hold focus group meetings to determine needs and explore options going forward. This is a topic that we'll be focusing on going into the next year and sharing information with the board and the community. So just, we hit the new year, we held off to get through the holidays, but that will be our focus along with the student supports and student services, which we've been focusing on. So just wanted to let you know and the community know that that'll be a focus. We'll be doing a lot with that at the start of the new year. Any questions? For that, I got
All right.
a report later. I got other items.
All right. We're gonna move into, so prior to drafting a resolution for the January organizational meeting, we need to answer a few questions here like we normally do. Shall the superintendent continue to serve as the purchasing agent for the Evergreen Local Board of Education and a single item spending limit of $35,000? Yeah, everybody good with that? Shall the board adopt a resolution to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting? Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Shall the board continue to utilize a consent agenda by topic for future meetings? Yeah. Shall the board continue to meet on the 3rd Monday of the month at 6 p.m.? Works for everybody? Okay. Shall the board continue accepting oral reports from the building principals at meetings? Yes. Shall the board continue to be compensated for a maximum of 13 meetings per year? Yes.
Yes.
Does the board wish to continue an opening ceremony of their regular meetings that consist of the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes.
All right. At this time, Mrs. Brown is not able to be here tonight, so we will skip over her and move right into Mr. Burkholder.
Good evening, everybody. December report, first, like always, our people's champ, I'd like to recognize them for December. It was Dan Steele. I wrote here, his time and his willingness to help out our students reflects our district priorities. He beats me to work most days and he's down up front with the kids. He's constantly having kids come up at breakfast in his room so he can help those out. Any kid who wants to succeed in algebra, he makes sure to have. So, we appreciate his efforts. We had a value-added professional development day on November 29th for ELA and math departments. It was led by Mike Altman and Dorothy Lambert from the ESC. They spent time looking at our state scores, particularly value-added, and how that value-added can be used to drive their instruction. Then on November 30th, we welcomed Terrence Talley as a guest speaker. Terrence came in and delivered a powerful message to the kids about having self-value and having each other's backs. It was a pretty exciting assembly, to be honest with you. I'd like to thank the 6 teachers, I won't say them by name, that volunteered their dancing services for us. They kind of got the kids hyped up. Terrence led them, but they definitely gave effort and went outside their comfort zone for the kids, so I appreciate that. December 4th, we had our 4th Amazing Shake lesson of the year. This one was on task management. The kids are continuing to build their skills from the original one. A lot of you participated in on the handshaking, introducing. They were working on interviewing skills while also doing tasks. A week later, we had a practice in which they really had to amp it up, and they were actually doing this while trying to compete for food. Food's a good motivator for them, but they did a really good job utilizing the skills they had learned in that lesson. The winter sports seasons are well underway for us. We've had boys basketball, girls basketball, cheerleading, and wrestling all full go in participation already. And to some extent, all had some levels of success already. December 6th, we sent 16 of our students to the Toledo Walleye hockey game as the rewarded students or recipients of the Thank You for Your Service Challenge. We had Megan Bose and Lori Schmidt, 2 of our teachers, escort the kids, and they talked really highly of how well those 16 kids, as you can imagine, they were willing to go out and do the Thank You for Your Service, how well they represented our school at that event. Really giving off those characteristics that we're talking about. So I was really proud to hear that they did such a good job representing our school. December 4th, we had the week of December 4th, we had a Signs of Suicide program for our 7th graders. And this is put on by Maumee Valley Guidance Center. And they teach the kids about suicide prevention. And then they also offer up an optional screening for kids. Then on December 12th, we had the Fulton County Juvenile Court come in. We had the prosecutor, probation officer, and Sheriff Smithmeyer all come in and talk to just our 6th graders. They discussed basically online interactions, the consequences of what those can be for young people. And I think it was a really resounding message to our kids, especially because they wanted to come in and meet with the 6th grader, the younger group. Because that's when a lot of the kids are actually getting on those platforms and getting cell phones for the first time. And then last Friday, we had our 2nd quarter row day. Remember our acronym, the O stands for ownership. So we had a lesson about ownership, and particularly the main idea was the amount of power the young people have in their lives when they take ownership of the decisions. So that was a good lesson last Friday. And then this week's just a jam-packed week, as you can imagine, with Christmas stuff going on. We have our concert tonight, as the high school does as well. We have 2 staff lunches this week, one put on by MVP. I got a bunch of the district administration helping me on Thursday as we do a staff lunch there and a bunch of fun activities for our kids. And then we have a snowball tournament took place today or started today. Elf on the Shelf challenge has been going on, and we finish out with the dance on Friday. So it's a busy week. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Burkholder. Mr. Roofer.
Good evening. I will try and keep this short and not get on my soapbox. But tonight I mainly wanted to talk about our PBI's handbook, which I believe you should have a copy in front of you. In short, I'm not gonna read through all of them. Don't worry, I'm not gonna preach on that. But there's 10 expectations. Basically, those are gonna guide what we're doing here in the high school. As I've been at this now for a year and a half, Again, the question I posed to my staff and I've asked myself is how are we going to execute the vision and the mission of the district? How are we gonna do that in the high school? So this handbook is gonna become part of our student handbook. And it's gonna drive our assemblies, our programming, and just, what we do on a daily basis in the high school. The purpose is, it's defined by state law. We have to set clear expectations for our students. But we want to go above and beyond that a little bit. Ultimately, our goal is to prepare students for life after high school. When they walk across that stage as seniors, we want to make sure, yes, they're not prepared just academically, but they are prepared with the skills that they need to be successful in life. It's going to help if they are able to work on these skills, improve them. It's going to help them socially, emotionally, academically. So that is our goal. It's a lofty goal, but that is something that we are moving towards, and this is what's going to drive what we do here. These aren't expectations that I just sat in a room by myself and typed up. I've been meeting with staff. We've done student surveys. We met with college professors, advisors, employers. I got input from all our athletic coaches, community members. So now we've taken all that information, have put this together. Now I'm bringing it to you. If you could read through it, check it out. If there's things that, any feedback, any questions, comments you have, just let me know. Because the plan is when we come back in January, we're going to start the fun process. Okay, how do we teach these to our kids? How do we reinforce these things? So that is our plan moving forward. It's myself and the building leadership team. We're going to collaborate with the whole staff, but that's kind of where we want to go with this. Again, lofty goals, but we feel that it's important. I'm not gonna continue preaching. I'm excited. I think this will lead to a lot of good things in the high school. If there's no immediate questions on that, you have the rest in my board report. I did fail to mention, we had our OMEA District Honor Band and Choir members were announced. We had 6 kids this year. Samantha Miller and Molly Elvey received district honors for band, and then Emily Fisher, Mikey Wheeler, Gray Rossdike, and Caleb Grasser were recognized for choir. So they will perform at the Stranahan. I believe that's in January. So, other than that, it's a busy time in high school. We got exams on Thursday and Friday, and then wrap up the semester. So, questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rupert. Mrs. Schmidlin.
Good evening. For student services, starting with preschool, I just wanted to give an update on our current roster of enrollment. We have 33 children in our morning classes and 28 attending our afternoon. In preparation for next year, we have 26 possible preschool children transitioning to kindergarten. So 11 of those students are students that are eligible for special education services, either developmental delay or speech language impairment. So using that information as we begin our planning, it's hard to believe next month we'll start planning for next year, but that's our situation with preschool. We do have our early childhood developmental screener scheduled for Monday, March 25th. That's held at a church in Delta, collaboration with Help Me Grow, other area schools, and Head Start. Part of our child find law that we're looking for and finding and evaluating children who may need special education services. So that's coming up in March. So if you have any birth to 5-year-olds that you know of that you'd like to have attend that screening, that would be great. We also, into next semester, have some preschool family engagement events. On February 23rd, we will have our Donuts for Dad. Children will have their dads available. Obviously, I'll have some donuts and milk, coffee, and they'll be working on an activity that was donated from Lowe's. And then on May 3rd, we have Spa Day with Moms. We have Green Bubble Gorgeous coming in and doing a spa day activity with the moms and the preschool children. So that should be a good time. In January, the special ed teams will begin planning for next school year. Like I said, we'll begin putting together rosters, getting some things organized with that, and then collaborating to make sure we have everything set and ready to go for next school year. And that's obviously an ongoing process. I also wanted to give a shout out through observations this semester. I've noticed some great things happening in our co-taught classrooms. I want to just thank the board and the administration for supporting co-teaching. Being in some meetings recently with some other area schools, I think we're ahead of the game with that, and I do see the benefit for all kids. So that's great that we can do that. I also want to give a big shout out to Michelle Paulson. She's our new intervention specialist at the elementary. She has brought so much energy, positivity. The kids are thriving from her inclusive mindset that she has. She has some great ideas. And I'm not exaggerating with her energy. She's got some great energy. So I'm so happy she's here. She is working on a program. It's part of Special Olympics. It's called Young Athletes. We've had several meetings with representatives from Young Athletes, and she's brought together a team of teachers to get that started at the elementary. And it just really focuses on that social and, some of the athletic skills that these young children might need for our students with disabilities, and also bringing in typical peer models into that program. So we're excited about that. And then we've also our multi-tiered system of supports, MTSS, that is an ongoing process. I'm seeing great things from the structure that we have with MTSS. It's definitely an ongoing process, and things are not perfect at this point, but it's definitely a work in progress. So definite improvement, and we're excited about all the great things happening. So any questions for me? Well, thank you.
Mr. Simola?
I have a few items. First, on behalf of the administration, teacher, staff, students, and families, I want to thank Zach for his service to the board. Zach, your willingness to serve and make decisions in the best interest of the students of Evergreen has been greatly appreciated. Just wanted to say thank you. Evergreen, in coordination with Ohio Means Jobs, Fulton County has made a commercial that will begin airing in January to recruit substitutes to all positions in the district. The commercial will air on TV on Fox 36 and 13 ABC, Fulton County internal TVs, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Sky Cinema, YouTube, and audio will be on 96.1 and 94.3. So we hope the commercials are successful in bringing in new substitutes to the district. That's the service they offered, so we jumped right on that, and it'll go out. So hopefully we can draw some more people in to be part of our team. I would like to thank our FFA program for hosting the Farmers Breakfast on December 1st and helping with the National Wreaths Across America Day at the Swanton Cemeteries on December 16th. Our members also volunteered at the Christmas at the Cabin event at Fulton County Fairgrounds. Ms. Holland, our students are very active and they represent this community very well. So I just want to say thank you to them. And we continue to research and plan for the solar eclipse that will take place on April 8th. Fulton County superintendents are preparing to coordinate a plan for our schools that we feel is the safest and most educationally responsible approach. Plan to finalize and release a plan countywide in January. So that is gaining a lot more interest, and there is a lot more direction being provided locally and at the state level for how we should handle that. We'll have a plan for the public in January. Any questions?
Mr. Simola? At this time, is there any board member questions or concerns? No? All right. I just need a motion to adjourn the December 18th, 2023 regular meeting of the Evergreen Local Board of Education. Roll call?
Yes. Ward? Yes. Mr. Smith? Yes. Mr. Rebecca? Yes. Mrs. Keeper?
Yes, motion carried. Yeah, I'll be safe. Myri and Lynn.